7 deep and powerful lessons from the book, The Complete Book of Numerology. Number 1. How does numerology really work? Let me tell you that the working of numerology is very simple to understand and really fun to learn. Now, since names are composed of letters, and letters are alphabets in nature, they need to be affixed a numerical value in order to qualify numerology. In reality, there is a distinct pattern in which the alphabetical order is paired to numbers between 1 and 9. They create a pattern that in turn shows how related numerology is to mathematics. Yes, both are sciences based on numbers and numerical patterns. However, one is based on facts, and the other is based on beliefs in what the number means. Let me give you a simple example. When we multiply 1 and 2, is a fact that we get the number 2. Now, belief, on the other hand, means that the number 9 stands for fortune. So this explains the difference between mathematics as a branch in science and numerology as a branch of astrology. So numerology employs a pattern of combining numbers obtained from using the known method of pairing alphabets to numbers to come up with prime numbers that can be used to explain 3 aspects, namely expression, life path, and soul urge. Now, these numbers are then compared to a list that give a meaning to each digit, explaining aspects in different areas of our life, be it career-wise, relationship, or financial aspects. So when you need to know the number of your life patch, you have to sum up the numbers that appear in your full date of birth, that is the day, month, and year that you were born. If you want to know your expression, then you need to sum up the corresponding numbers to your name to find the prime digit. This single number represents your expression. Let me inform you that your expression means the abilities and the talents that you naturally possess. Number 2. What is the relationship between depression and numerology? Psychologists are subject to keep their sessions as confidential as possible. They wouldn't share with any person what they discuss in their sessions. If you do not like to, you do not even need to admit to anybody that you are their patient. Another thing you ought to do when you are depressed is to converse with someone or any person. This is especially helpful to you if you do not have the means to visit a psychotherapist. Make sure that you talk to your best friend or to just any person who will listen to you. If you continue to be in school, you can very well consider talking to your school psychotherapist, and I am sure they may be able to help you also when you find yourself sad. Please do not lose hope. I personally know that hopelessness is a major trait of this disorder, but it is very important that you hold on to any hope. This is what some of the people in the numerology forum, which I visited recently, found with the aid of a numerologist. Yes, against the odds of the illness, they were able to seek out hope. They learned the way to look forward and how to see the longer term as something that they have control over. Let me remind you that our 20s are a very important part of who we are. Most of us are growing up during this time. For some, it's when they find who they are, and for others, it's a stepping stone towards that goal. The 20s can also be a very stressful and rather humbling experience. As you tree out your wings, you may fall and even break a few things. Number 3. What is the advantage of planning in your life? The advantage of planning is observable in its consequences. Most of the people who have effectively laid out plans for their lives are happy and contented. If you are trying to find something just like that in your life, then you should most for sure start off planning for the future. You really need to be smart, and you would need to guarantee that you keep these things at heart when planning. In general, planning stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-oriented. These should be the characteristics of the plan that you are making. These factors can result in very fruitful planning. If you have had trouble with your plans failing, then there is a good chance that those plans were not smart. All you need to do is to reassess your plans and make changes where it is necessary. In general, there are many things that can keep people from dreaming or from listing plans about the future. Fear is one of the top reasons. Lots of people are afraid of what consequences can come from plans falling apart. Number 4. What is your personal year? Your birth month and your birthday numbers are used to determine your personal year. Their reduction is added to the current year. For example, if you were born on September 21st, then your year number for 2017 is 7. Please keep in mind that personal years do not start at January 1. It starts at your birthday and extends to the next one. Number 5. How to know about numbers in numerology. Let me inform you that the number 11 is a very interesting figure in numerology. Like every other number, it has its own pros and cons, but as a master number, the number 11 contains special meaning. There are a lot of famous people with an 11 for a life path, and this includes many well-known politicians. If you have an 11 life path, or if there is an 11 in any place in your numerology profile, read on to find out what this means for you. Now, before going any further, let us first look at what master numbers are. In reality, master numbers are the double numbers ranging from 11 to 99. These can't be reduced any further, as they contain special meanings all on their own. Most numerologists only consider the 11 and 22 as significant numbers, but there are also those who also value the significance of the numbers 33 to 99. You can start interpreting soul numbers to find out if you have an 11 in your profile. You can also do the same when interpreting personality number. 11 have a potential to be a source of inspiration for other people. This inspirational nature comes without much effort. They can also be very energetic and they can be intuitive. Most people with number are considered as idea guys and girls. Without trying too much, they came up with a lot of great ideas that can not only benefit themselves, but others as well. Those with the number are also likely to have a good idea of what they have to be in life. Diplomacy and tact are also interesting features of the 11. However, as good as the 11 can seem, it does have its set of negatives. To start with the 11th of May, find themselves stalled early in life. They may be a cause of concern for family members because they can seem lost during early adulthood. Success will come for Sim with an 11, but it is usually going to come later in life, like in their mid-30 and 40. They could also have a lot of nervous energy and can experience depression early in life. Number 6. Is numerologist.com really a scam? Let me tell you that numbers are vibrations. Now, just as the planets affect our outer and inner lives, numbers represent vibrations that we sense whether we are aware of it or not, and respond to it with our actions, feelings, and thoughts. Every new year, the change in numbers creates a vibration shift in our lives. When the number in our lives change, for instances, a new address, new uniform number, new telephone number, these transition affect us energetically, and we all share the influence of this transformation. In reality, how you are affected specifically each calendar year by this change in energy is referred to as your personal year number. Now, knowing your personal year cycle can really help you interpret the several changes happening within and around you. Trust me, this is akin to reading the weather report before planning a trip. Varied energies are conducive to different activities and behaviors. There is a time to act, to wait, to change, to explore, or treat. Yes, there is season for everything. Now I am going to explain in details how to find your personal year number. First, reduce the month and day of your birth to a single digit. You do this by adding each individual number of the date until the sum number equals a single digit. Now, for example, if your birthday is December 19th, let me remind you that December is the 12th month. You add the digits of the month or 12 and day that are 19. This comes to 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 equals 13. You want to reduce the sum until you get a single digit, so in this case, you will add 1 plus 3 equals 4. Then reduce the current year for which you are making the calculation to a single digit. For example, the year 2017 would become 1, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7 equals 10. Now add the single digit representing your birthday to the single digit representing the current year. Thus, in this case, we add 4 plus 1 equals 5. In 2017, 5 is your personal year for you. Another example, if your birthday is July 29th, you add 7 plus 2 plus 9 equals 18. Then reduce the 18, 1 plus 8 equals 9. Then add that single-digit sum, 9, to the current year, which in our example is 2010, which reduces to 3. 9 plus 3 equals 12. 12 is a double digit, so we reduce it further by adding 1 plus 2 equals 3. This person is in a 3 personal year in 2010. Now, to simplify the entire process, you add the day and month of your birthday and keep adding until you reach a single digit. Now add that to the single digit total of the current year. So if you total is a double digit, add those two numbers together until you reach a single digit. So I am sure you got it. So you can very well look up your personal number below. Once you do that, you can look up your friends, your families, and even your pets. Again, you can do this every year. So have fun. Now, if you have ever read a book on numerology or had a numerology reading or report done for yourself, then you must have an understanding of how valuable numerology can be to better understand yourself and your loved ones. Number 7. What are the new findings in numerology? Tell me, what is your lucky number? Are you a little extra carefully when it's Friday the 13th? Do you really think that 7 bring you good fortune, or that things always come in 3s? Now welcome to the world of numerology, the study of numbers and their subtle influence on you. People often came to Edgar Cayce with questions about lucky numbers or how a change of name might lead to more advantageous numerological forces. To the surprise of some people, the readings were generally supportive of the study of numbers. While warning against superstition, the readings suggest that there is some significant impact made on our personality and destiny by numbers. People were cautioned to remember that any sign, like astrology and numerology, or attunement enhancer, like a stone, should not be worshipped or revered for itself, but instead used as an aid to move toward a spiritual ideal. But how can you use the study of numbers to grow spiritually? If one aspect of your spiritual quest is greater self-understanding, then perhaps numerology can play a role. The purpose is not to use numbers to manipulate life, but instead it is to become more aware of unseen forces that may inexplicably lead you towards certain tendencies in your personality, vocation, and relations with others. How do you determine which numbers are personally significant? Most numerologists, and the Cayce readings as well, state that birth dates and name hold the key. It's easy enough to see how a birth date contains numbers. E.g., Edgar Cayce's was March 18, 1877. The numbers are then added together. Edgar Cayce's birth date would lead to this addition: 3 plus 1 plus 8 plus 1 plus 8 plus 7 plus 7 equals 35. A multiple-digit number is then further reduced by adding the digits, such as 3 plus 5, which results in Cayce's birth date being an 8. But what about a name? How do you get from letters to numbers? Several systems are available, and the Cayce readings did not explicitly favor one over another, but most modern numerologists use a system whereby the letters of the alphabet are taken in order and assigned a value of 1 to 9, with the cycle repeating each time 9 is reached. For example, A equals 1, B equals 2.1 equals 9, J equals 1, etc. From your name, you can calculate a series of numbers which are then added together. For example, Edgar Cayce becomes 5 plus 4 plus 7 plus 1 plus 9 plus 3 plus 1 plus 7 plus 3 plus 5 equals 45 equals 4 plus 5 equals 9. This process can be done for your birth date, your full name, just the vowels in your name, and just the consonants in your name. Each of those measurements, according to numerologists, describes a distinct dimension of your life. Next comes the question: how do you interpret the significant numbers you have calculated? On this point, the Cayce readings offer very few clear instructions. Perhaps we are indirectly invited to experiment with different systems of interpretation and come up with the one that seems to work best. In such a spirit of exploration, the ARE has initiated a numerology research project. Since we wanted to include the thousands of people who we suspected would desire to be part of this program, it was necessary to find an interpretive system that was computerized for rapid processing.